Yeah, so for the guys on, sorry, guys on Instagram, I just need to go back to live stream my broadcast on YouTube and record it. I paused the recording when I started the video, so I just need to go back to do that. Okay, cool. So for the benefit of live stream audience, I'm just going to go back one step to talk about the price of Bitcoin actually reaching the highest point this year, which is over 11,000 and staying there. There is significant importance in that price staying above 11,000. It means that according to the analysis I gave last week, Bitcoin remains bullish. The regulation news coming out from places like Kazakhstan, Russia, Nigeria also indicates that government is now getting more and more interested in, regulating and taxing income from Bitcoin. Then the issue of sentiment, I talked about the young investors, which is estimated to carry about $62 trillion in transgenerational wealth. That's also coming one way or the other into cryptocurrencies. And then there was a report that came from blockchain analysis as well, saying that most people holding Bitcoins are 90% in profit, and that Nigerians actually have the highest interest in Bitcoin since the beginning of the pandemic, apart from youths. So it tells us that Nigerians have been very coded in their taking positions in cryptocurrencies. Well, like I always say that, you shouldn't let your money be in the bank at this time, because you'll be doing yourself a very huge disservice, apart from the fact that traditional banks like banks in Nigeria cannot give you value for money. The interest rates will start to drop to negative in places like the UK from next year. So if you think about it, why would you keep your money in the bank if the interest rate is going to be negative? So that's one of the reasons why the Bitcoin price increasing is a good thing. Now, for people who've already invested in cryptocurrencies, generally speaking, it means that if you invested 500 Naira buying cryptocurrencies, not necessarily Bitcoin, at the beginning of the year or sometimes in March, that 500,000 Naira or 500 Naira or 500 whatever is now about, it's about 600 or 700 now. You at least done anywhere between 10 and 20%, depending on when you invested. Sorry guys, I think my Instagram, today's been a very funny day. It looks like my Instagram live post due to connection. I need to restart it. Okay. Sorry guys on Instagram. Yeah, just go back live again. Hope this works out fine. So the second thing I want to talk about in terms of news was Goldman Sachs. Sometimes in the month of May, I think, Goldman Sachs wrote a report to their US customers telling them that they do not consider Bitcoin as a real asset. I don't know if anybody saw that news, but when I saw that news at the time, I laughed. And on the back of that news, just guys, on the back of that news, Bitcoin dropped about 10% on that day. It recovered the next day, but it dropped 10% on the back of that news when Goldman Sachs said, Bitcoin was not considered an asset. And, that memo was made public in the press. Now, this same Goldman Sachs in the month of July have now come to say we are appointing a new global head for digital assets. And that's because they are betting that the blockchain technology will be the future of financial markets. And as a result, they're trying to re-strategize to position and be ready for that. Even though they were saying 2 months ago, or less than 8 weeks ago, that they don't consider Bitcoin a tangible or a valuable asset. In the same vein, they're also saying that they're eyeing their own token project and they want to create their own token, their own fiat-backed or fiat-linked token, and that they want to operate in the area of repossession. They want to operate in the area of financial repossession. What I want to explain from this news is that whenever you hear a big news from big investors, I will always say, don't watch what they say, watch what they do. If they say something and they make huge noise about something, just watch out and investigate in the background, like what are they actually doing. So the same way they came out less than 8 weeks ago to say, yeah, we don't consider Bitcoin as a proper asset or a proper asset class. 8 weeks down the line, they're re-strategizing and restructuring to start making their own token to sell to people. And then they'll come out and say, yeah, this is blockchain backed. Meanwhile, this is the same blockchain that produced Bitcoin. This is just like what happened in 2017 when the JP Morgan Chase CEO went online and said if he finds any of his staff trading Bitcoin, he's going to sack them. And he doesn't understand what trash it is. Of course, some people sold their Bitcoins then. The smarter people bought it off them. Only for him to come back about 3 months later to say he was actually sorry, that it was a mistake. He didn't understand what it was there, that his daughter schooled him, that his daughter actually had Bitcoins, that his daughter educated him. So when you hear big money or big investors talking about an asset class, don't listen to what they're saying. Find out what they're doing. So in this case, all the big investors are lining up. Essentially, that's what they do. They're lining up to take a big chunk of the crypto markets. So trying to badmouth Bitcoin was just an attempt of trying to see if they can get some additional Bitcoin to buy at below £10,000, or sorry, $10,000. And you try to take a sizable position before bringing their own version of cryptocurrency into the market. Same thing happened with China in November, December last year. China was shutting down every cryptocurrency exchange that was not on mainland China. If I remember losing some money to one particular exchange then because maybe they killed the CEO, the CEO got abducted or something. We never knew what happened to him. He was the one in charge of the cold wallet keys. And we couldn't get our money out. The money was just lost back there. So China did that in November, only for them to come in December and say, we're starting our own cryptocurrency project. And by May this year, they launched a project and we're encouraging government workers to start getting paid in that cryptocurrency. So when you see institutions say something bad about an asset class, watch out for what they're doing. Most likely it's the contrary. That's exactly what's happened here. And that's why I've brought this news up, because it's very important. You might hear some institutions saying seemingly bad things about digital assets at this time. Know that they're doing exactly opposite that. Now, what Goldman Sachs has done as sustained interest in the market, all you have to do now is wait for PayPal and Venmo to start selling. Once PayPal and Venmo start selling to their customer like they promised, then you start seeing the prices go crazy. Another important news, and the final one I wanted to talk about today, was the Crypto.com swap of MCO token. For most people that are my listeners, you probably already have stakes in Crypto.com. So I think it's important I talk about this news and explain what it means to everybody. I'm sure if you go online, you see quite a number of videos already on YouTube talking about it, but I'm going to talk about swaps generally in a bit, but just to explain what this news means. So Crypto.com originally started as a company called Monaco DAX. Well, his legal name is the Monaco DAX, actually. It was started in Monaco, registered in Luxembourg, started operating out of Luxembourg, then moved to Hong Kong. They were using Monaco as an interface between fiat and digital currency back then, and they created the Monaco card. But because adoption was still very low, generally speaking, and because of a number of other constitutional factors, they weren't quite successful. So in the process of re-strategizing, they now changed their name to crypto.com. They bought the crypto.com domain name. That domain name at that point was worth about $10 million. They bought the domain name. Then we strategized the company's brand identity around that domain name. And that's how they became crypto.com. However, because there were utilities that were tied to the MCO token, there are functionalities that were tied to the MCO token. They couldn't just dispose of the MTO token when they created the CRO token, which is the crypto.com coin last year. So when they created the crypto.com coin, it was trading at 1 to 120. At the highest, it was trading at 1 to 125, meaning one MCO would have given you 25 CRO, sorry, 125 CRO. But as CRO began to progress, it seemingly appeared that people are taking interest more and more in CRO, so the price began to appreciate. When we found out about CRO, that was in March, we found out through our Wall Street investors who we subscribed to, and what they were doing then was recommending MCO because of what the company was doing. The company was well positioned, to take significant market share, and they were offering both traditional cryptocurrency exchange functionalities and banking functionalities within the app. So they were tipped to be one of the best performing cryptocurrencies in the next 24 months. But when we checked MCO was already expensive at the time. So I told my guys that, we need to move into CRO because CRO is less expensive. And when we calculated the return on investment, you could actually get a bit more, maybe like 10% more or more on the same amount of money invested in MCO and CRO, given the price projections that were given. So let me just put that out there, that the price projection on MCO as at the time of the analysis was 1,500, 1,560 MCO per 1,560 US dollars per one MCO. That was the expected maximum valuation for MCO. And that was because of what they've seen the company do. But at the beginning of this, at the beginning of this month, the company decided that, we're going to subsume MCO and CRO into CRO, making CRO the only, token or current currency that crypto.com has, and then bringing all the functionalities that were either tied to MCO and bringing them into the crypto.com coin. Of course, it raised a lot of dust because nobody saw it coming. Nobody at all saw that coming. I think it was just, completely within the organization. Nobody saw it. No analyst anywhere knew that was coming. So people were taken aback. A lot of people were shocked. Some guys were angry. I saw people on the Telegram, what they were posting, all sorts of offensive words that they were shortchanged and all that. But from a strategic point of view, they had actually taken a very, very strong strategic move, and they've done it ahead of time, which also gives them a lot of advantage. And I'm going to come to that in a minute. If you consider the merits and the demerits are the one on the plus and the demerits are the one on the left with the minus, the negative sign. The merit is that you have more utility for the CRO coin, which is more use case. More use case means more demand. More demand means increase in value due to increase in purchase, which is equals to increase in market capitalization, which in turn leads to increase in return on investment. It also means more CRO is staked. The card tiers are also recalibrated according to CRO, and you will have more people coming in because this CRO now becomes a very strong coin. It's now carrying the functionality that two tokens were carrying before now. So on the left, the bad press about, they're creating distrust, and some people are saying they might sue them. Others were saying they're going to leave. They're going to say bad things about them, and there were a lot of people whining. Essentially, that's my assessment. There were a lot of people whining, and I didn't see the reason for that, because if you are thinking like a businessman and you're trying to position your product, you are better off positioning one product than trying to position two products at the same time. That's because you reduce your leverage. I mean, it's basic marketing communications. You reduce your leverage when you're trying to say two things at the same time. If your message is simple and it's just one, your chances of success are 100%. But once you dilute it, you reduce your chances by more than half. So because of that, I think kudos to them for having the guts to take that decision, because it's a very difficult decision to take. But more importantly, congratulations to everyone that has already held CRO coins, because you're about to get very rich. And I will explain that. I'll explain that shortly. If we take the valuation price projection for MCO, which is 1,560 per one MCO USD, and we'll cascade that based on the conversion rate that was used, which was 30-day weighted average for MCO to CRO conversion. In fact, no, let's not use that, because that's going to blow a lot of people's mind, and I don't want to give false hopes. But let's use the original calculation that we were using to say that we calculated based on 1 to 100. That's if one MCO was going to do 1,560 US dollar per one, then our projection then was that CRO was going to do $15.60, which is about 11 pounds. Now, give or take, let's be conservative and say, okay, the strategy doesn't work out that fine. So let's divide that by 4. If we divide that by 4, we'll still be left with around somewhere between $4 and $5 per one CRO. So, like I was saying to some guys, that if you have 50,000 CRO, you could potentially be a millionaire in 2 months, 2 years, in less than 2 years' time, because the interest and the acceptance of the CRO coin might shoot up so rapidly that the coin will appreciate significantly in value over a short period of time. And why is that? Part of the activities that are happening on crypto.com is the crypto.com mainnet. Well, a mainnet, just to explain for the benefit of others, a mainnet is the blockchain of a particular cryptocurrency. Now, before now, crypto.com and MCOs, CRO and MCO have been on the Ethereum blockchain. So that's why they've been tokens. They've not been coins, as it were. They've been working on Ethereum blockchain, and they've been using all their functionalities have been based on smart contracts running on Ethereum blockchain. But from November or December, they're going to move to their own blockchain that will be issuing the coins directly from their own blockchain. 2 things that will happen on mainnet, and you can check that out. There's a coin called Elrond, ERD. Elrond must have done, I think I've lost count on what Elrond has done since when they announced the mainnet back in, I think that was in March. Elrond must have done anywhere between 500 and 405 or 500%, if I'm not exaggerating. And that was because they moved from the parents or tenants blockchain to their own blockchain. So moving to your own blockchain is it's a sign of decentralization and independence. So it means that your own network is now independent of the original network you are on. So if anything happens to the other network, your network is still standing. So Elrond did 400% on the back of that news. I'm sure it did more than that, but I'll check and tell you before the end of this session. But ERD did more than that just because of migration from their token to the mainnet. So migration to the mainnet is usually a very big deal in the world of cryptocurrency, and that's happening on CRO in the next 3 months. So CRO as of today is how much now? 16 cents. Yeah, it's 16 cents as of today. If it's to do times 5, we easily get in the units of dollars. But there's no, to be honest, there's no saying how it will react or how the market will react to it's going to its own blockchain. But usually it pumps the market, to say the least. It makes the currency really attractive to investors, and because of that, the price goes very, very high very quickly. Yeah, I've seen what I'm looking for. So as at May, the price was 0.00184 USD, and by July the price was 0.02. So it climbed like 3 zeros in a space of 2 months, just because it was moving from the parent or tenant blockchain to his own blockchain. So, as I've said earlier on, the reason you're going to be rich from CRO is because they're moving to mainnet. And now they've merged the power of MCO plus the power of CRO. So you have an hybrid currency with all the powers of both currencies. So congratulations if you have CRO. Regardless of what you can see as the demerits that are showing up today, bad press. The price did fall. I mean, for people that were aware of it, you see that the price fell about anywhere between 5 and 10% on the day. But I knew that that was just what Yoruba people call ariwoja, the market noise. It's not really, it's not really fundamental. And institutional investors they have bigger money than all of us, and they are also watching the market. So for an institutional investor, that's a very serious sign of commitment and strategic direction. So please don't sell your CRO. If I told somebody like that I don't have money, I'll prefer to go and watch dead body than to sell my CRO at this point. Is that serious? Because you might be surprised at what returns this can bring you in the next few months. For the benefits of those who are just joining us, I usually bring this up so that you understand the state of money as we know it. Coronavirus has smashed the remaining value out of our currencies. And it's worse for the US dollar because the US dollar is pumping money out for the Federal Reserve. Let me not say the US dollar. The Federal Reserve is pumping out money at an unprecedented rate. The plan is to pump about 6.2 trillion on a currency that has already lost about 97% of its value at the beginning of the year. That's serious devaluation. That will probably take another 1 or 2% away from the remaining value. What you will now start to see by November, December will be a lot of inflation. Most probably there will be market crash, and then people will try to hedge their funds or hedge their capital by putting money in safe havens. This is both institutional investors and very rich capitalists. And what are those safe havens? Safe havens are things like gold, precious metals. In olden days, you see precious stones, but people don't really trade precious stones like that now. So, and the only other one that's very convenient is Bitcoin. It is digital gold. It's not like digital gold. It is digital gold. And even Robert Kiyosaki, one of my very, very respected teachers of entrepreneurship, said, if you can't buy gold, buy Bitcoin. Don't keep your money in the bank. He's always been against keeping money in the bank anyway, but he's like, you know what? Don't even waste your time this time. Just go ahead and buy Bitcoin. So it's important that you understand that money is fast losing value. I mean, for people in Nigeria, I don't think that needs any explanation. I just saw Aboki FX today, and the price feed was telling me that £1 was $600 and 600 naira. I'm like, geez, 600 naira. I mean, that's about, what am I saying? That means it's lost more than all the value now. As at 2000, what time did this guy come in? Before this current government. As at 2014, US dollar was about £250. I mean, a pound was like $250, and it was like that for about 250, 230 for a very long time. So for you to have that now, that means the currency has lost almost all of its remaining value. So it's important that you understand that money in the bank is like paper right now. And in fact, even Bank of England is talking about possibility of negative interest rates next year, meaning you have to pay for putting your money in the bank. So I just flashed those two slides to remind people that you can't afford to put your money in the bank. Frankly speaking, it's counterintuitive because not only the money losing value per second, it's also a liability because it's not making you any money. People that join crypto.com with me in the last 2 months, some people have made 40%, some people have made 20% on their portfolio in 2 months. That would take you, I don't know how long that would take you to get from a fixed deposit account in the UK, probably 5 years or 10 years. In Nigeria, it probably take you 2 years at this rate to get that kind of return. So it's important that to hedge our investments, we have a substantial crypto portfolio of assets. These timelines, I need to revise it next because I need to add some very interesting things that have happened in the last 10 months. I don't know what's happened to my Instagram today. It's just going off. I don't understand. Okay, let me just restart my Instagram. It's a shame. I didn't even realize that until it went off completely. Anyways, I'll change to my mobile network. It looks like the Wi-Fi has finally given way. Okay, so let's go on to our part 2 of our weekly digest, which is crypto science, vital signs. Here we just talk about, like a health check of what's happening in the crypto world using a number of tools that we have here and there. And one of them is the market capitalization comparison slide. I like the slide because it always reminds me of how far we still have to go. So just to explain, the sun, the moon, and the earth is a graphical representation of how big, in terms of market capitalization, each of the big known markets are. So the US equity market is a big market. It's $35 trillion. The cryptocurrency markets, the 346 billion. And you see the altcoins, that 134 billion. I missed out a detail there because if you compare this to 2 weeks ago, exactly 2 weeks ago, while the US equity is still sitting around 32, 35 trillion, 2 weeks ago, the cryptocurrency market was 224 billion US dollars. So that means in the last 2 weeks, it has added 120 something on market capitalization in the cryptocurrency world. And out of that, altcoins also has grown from 80 billion in the last 2 weeks to 134 billion. So the altcoin market, which is a subsector of cryptocurrency markets, has grown by almost, what am I saying? It's grown by more than 50%. So if you're already in the market and you're following coins and you're seeing some coins are pumping crazy, you have 50% overnight, 80% in 2 days, 40% in 3 days. That probably explains, this chart probably explains what's going on. So money is coming in, I don't want to use the word wickedly, but money is coming in massively into the markets, and that's what's responsible for this increase in market capitalization. So the first analysis we're doing today is basically on technical analysis on the daily chart. And I just wanted to use this because this is the basic analytical chart that all investors use. It's called the daily chart. The reason it's called the daily chart is because it looks at the open, high, low, and close price of a technical instrument or an asset and uses that to determine the direction of the market. So this chart is a daily chart of Bitcoin, and I think I've stretched it as far. Okay, I've closed out some of the. Yeah, I've shown you the the y-axis, but each of the y-axis shows the days, and this drop that we have here at 3,782 is that day in March when the stock market collapsed because of COVID. That was March. So this is March. This is March here. This was around January here. Now, since March, when the markets hit $3,782, it significantly progressed, and it did hit 10,000, about 10,100 briefly. Then it went sideways after hitting 10,100. That's as I was saying, that since it hit 10,100, the market, sort of lost direction and was going sideways all the way till we got to July. This is July. And from July, the market started picking up and picking up and picking up. And then at the peak of it, it got to 12,123. And the markets, withdrew immediately because that was probably the highest selling or highest selling price that was on the market at the time. The markets withdrew immediately on that day, just to explain what's happening on this candlestick. So these red and white lines are called candlesticks for the benefit of people who are new. Each candlestick has 2 wicks usually. There's a wick at the top and there's a wick at the bottom. The wick at the top, the very tip of the wick at the top explains the peak price for that day, while the wick at the very bottom explains the lowest price for that day. So think of this chart as representing an auction market, which is actually what trading is about, or exchange markets is about. So the peak of that day, that's Bitcoin, that day was probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's on the 2nd of July, Sunday, 2nd of July, when the market got to 12,000. What happened here was the market was going up on the back of the previous day. So the market opened at about the same close of the previous day. It went up to 12,000. On getting to 12,000, everybody sold off. Then the market started crashing. Then the market went down from 12,000 to 10,500, same day. Then, because people usually have buying orders at the bottom of the market, so institutional investors usually place what you call pending orders below the market price, that if the market drops by 1,000, please buy. So those orders are like waiting orders that get triggered when the market gets to that price point. So once the market hit 10,500, a large number of orders were triggered, and those orders pushed the market back up to the close of the day, which was above 11,000. That was Sunday, the 2nd of August. And since that day, the market has not touched 11,000. 2 things to take away from this analysis. 1, this blue line is what you call an ascending channel. An ascending channel is a technical analytical chart that shows the path of the price action along a particular direction. So we can see from this chart that the path of the market is following an ascending channel since the month of March, when the market crashed. Now, when the market is following an ascending channel, it means that it will usually test the edges of the channel. So you can see the test here, PIM. There's another test here, PIM. Likely we'll find another test somewhere around 13,000 or 14,000 in a few days to come, because what's happening is the market is not, there are huge buying orders sitting at 11,000. So the market can't come to 11,000 without it jumping up again. So even if the market crashes now, like it tried to do today, it's probably just going to stay here for the most part and continue on its journey up in the next few days. By the way, those purple line, the purple line that is closest to the candles is what you call the short-term moving average. A moving average is what it is, a moving average of the price. It is the average of the price over a short period of time. In technical analysis, you will have a short, medium, and long-term moving average. So this is a short-term moving average. it serves as a support for the price in the short term. If the price is not breaking its short-term moving average, then it means the market is strongly bullish and is continuing to go up. So our sentiment from last week still remains. Market is still going up. The next technical, well, it's not a technical indicator. It's something somebody shared on our group, on our WhatsApp group, and I just thought I explain it. I'm not sure how clear it will be, but I will explain it nevertheless. It's called the psychology of a market cycle. The psychology of a market cycle explains how the market moves and what you call the herd mentality of how people react to market cycles. So usually you will have, at the beginning of the cycle, you will have the hope, there will be a hope that, okay, the market is going up, maybe it's going up, maybe not. Then the market goes up and people will say, oh, this rally is not true, it's a freak out, it can't be sustained. Then the market keeps going, then the optimism sets in and like, wow, this rally is, is getting real. Then belief sets in and you're like, yeah, this is time to get invested. Everybody start talking about, cryptocurrencies as an example. Then it goes from belief to thrill. The market is going crazy. By that time, we say, yeah, we'll buy more margin. I've got to tell everybody to buy. Then at this point, there's euphoria, like, oh my God, I'm a genius. The market is really, killing it. And then the market starts to drop. The market starts to drop, you're like, oh yeah, it's just cooling off before the next rally. And then it keeps dropping, then anxiety sets in, then it keeps dropping, then denial sets in, like, my investments are with great companies, they will come back. Then pew, the thing drops again, and there's capitulation, 100% out of the market, like, yeah, I can't lose. And then there's anger, denial and anger, then there's depression because money is lost. And then market starts to go up again. And then there's disbelief, which was what it was here at the beginning, which is, this rally will feel like the others. And, then disbelief sets in, like, yeah, this is a sucker's rally, it's not going to be sustained. So what this is saying, it's just trying to exemplify the cycle of the market. And if you see this blown out chart at the top right that says the peak, recovery, and prosperity, it's explaining the time of maximum opportunity and times of maximum risk from an investment point of view. So right now, we're somewhere around here, or somewhere around here, somewhere between hope and optimism. That's where we are right now. Being frank with you, in this market cycle, that's where we are right now. In a few months' time, the market is going to go mad. When the market goes mad, then we will be somewhere on belief. Then we'll get to thrill, where the market is really growing crazy and the price, maybe Bitcoin is 80,000 USD by that time, and everybody is going crazy. But just know that after a peak, the market will start to come down. The only difference in this particular cycle, which I must point out, is that the only difference is that the market is not going to totally bottom out. Unlike just 1 second, please. Unlike the normal stock markets, this particular cycle is a bit different. And the reason this particular cycle is a bit different is that this is the one market cycle where institutional money is a late comer to the market. After this cycle, mark my words, after this cycle of cryptocurrencies, you will never have this opportunity of supernormal profits again. It's not a curse, and I'm not prophesying. It's just facts. Because by the next cycle, when the next Bitcoin halving happens, everybody will have cashed out. The investors, the institutional investors already have their claws and their jaws sunk into the market. So they'll be able to influence the market at will. So I just thought to show that. In terms of our other sentiments, sentiment is still high. Sentiment is high versus price. So you can see that Bitcoin price is currently at 11,000. It's still lagging the sentiment. So we're still showing that the sentiment is sustained. Then when we look at our fear and greed index, our fear and greed index is even more green now than it was 2 weeks ago. So I deliberately just brought the 2 weeks ago into the picture to show you where we are 2 weeks ago. Where we were 2 weeks ago, we were 53, we were neutral. Now we are green on extreme greed, meaning everybody now wants to get in. So while it's a good thing, it's a give or take. There might be a temporary pullback, but overall, the market is bullish. So if you're still dilly-dallying, I think now is a good time to get in. In terms of crypto drip, I'm just going to talk about coin swap and what coin swap does. A coin swap is like substitution, as the word swap implies, meaning you're changing one coin for another, or you're changing one token for another. It's usually a market, I don't want to use market manipulation, but it's usually a market gain or an advantage move for cryptocurrencies. Just like if you play chess, if you do a king castle is a defensive move to protect your king towards the end game. So just like that, a coin swap is like a boosting mechanism for any cryptocurrency. The reason being that there's usually a reason where the coin swap is happening. In some cases, it might be to remove the circulating or the total supply of that cryptocurrency. On another case, like the one we have with MCO and CRO, might be to consolidate separate coins or to consolidate one coin into another. But a coin swap is usually to the greatest benefit of people who had the coins or the token or the digital asset before the swap. And that's why I was congratulating everybody that had CRO before the MCO swap, because you can be sure that you have significant returns on your investment in the months to come. That's all I have for today. I don't know if who's on. I have someone on the call who I wanted to share. I wanted him to share his screen to show how to stake on the crypto.com exchange. Are you on the call, Mr. Jide? I think I saw him.
I am. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. So I'm going to give you I'm going to give you the ability to share now.
Okay.
So that you can share your screen. Right. Yeah, you can share now. So I'll share your screen, log in, share your screen. I'll tell you what to do and I'll explain to everybody watching us.
Okay.
So he asked me, just for context, everyone, he asked me about how to do staking on crypto.com and, you know, what the swap meant. He had me a number of questions around the swap. So I just said, you know what, instead of just explaining to you, why don't we use your account to do the live demo on Friday, which is today. In the meantime, if anybody has any question, please go ahead and ask your question so that we don't.
Okay, good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Mr. Rotimi.
Yeah, this is Rotimi. Okay, I don't know if anybody has experienced this. Dr. Demi, I've not done that stuff since that day because after like 3 attempts of getting the bank code to take, pull money from the account to the CRO's account now, what do we call it? I just noticed that my bank is approving the transaction, but the money is still not going. So I just want to know, has anybody experienced this before for newcomers? For the first time you are trying to set up your accounts and you want to buy, should I say, I don't know, the first set of the CRO coin or which other word we use now. So that's my first question. I don't know if has anybody experienced this before?
Can I say something?
I was signed up. I was signed up to crypto.com, but I've not been able to fund my account also from Nigeria. I had issues doing that.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. Okay, I think Dr. Demi mentioned that last Friday.
Yeah.
Account holders, I think okay, probably it's a peculiar situation, but I'm actually presently in the UK and I'm using the and I'm still unable to fund it. Though we
Okay.
both, me and Dr. Demi agree that it could be as a result of maybe some instability, but I did not.
Okay,
I decided
so
not to do it back.
Rotex, what we can do in your own case is very straightforward.
Okay.
Have they confirmed your registration?
Yeah, all of that has been done.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Send
was
me
after
the money.
publication that.
Send me the money. I'll
tried
buy
to-
the crow and send it to you.
Okay, I should send you
It will
what?
get
Okay,
to,
the
yeah,
money.
it'll probably get to you faster than it gets to, it comes from the bank anyway.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
For people in
Definitely.
Nigeria, Mr. John Ompating, send me your,
Oh,
send
can
me
I
your,
encourage this person that is logging in? Please don't. Your pins, you are sharing your
I
pin.
did. I should send you what?
I'm saying that type your user, what's it called, your phone number
Your
on
pin
chat.
before you
Yeah, so Jide, type your pin before you share your screen.
share the screen. Yeah,
Okay.
for security purpose.
Yeah. And Mr. John, send your phone number by chat so that I can.
All right, I'll do that.
Yeah, so that I can add you to. I'll add you to our WhatsApp group. On our WhatsApp group, sometimes you have people who want to sell. You can just buy from them and you pay them in naira.
I also created an account. I've submitted all the documents they asked, but I have not been verified. Also,
Frederick, I can't hear you properly.
yeah.
Frederick, I can't hear
Hi.
you. You are saying something. Oh, it's broken. I can't hear you. Two things. If you've not been verified, wait till you get verification confirmation. Once the verification has been confirmed, then it's easy for people to send you. So there are people in the communities who are in Nigeria. They have access to exchanges that sell Bitcoin. They can buy Bitcoin and send it to you directly from your app. And then you get it directly on the app as well. So, Jide, are you ready?
Yes, I have signed in now. I'll share my
Okay.
screen again.
Yeah, share your screen. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm here now.
Yeah. So scroll down. It's a bit challenging when you're trying to do the. Just close. There's a close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's menu button at the top.
Yep.
At the top right, beside your name, BA. Go to Stake and Earn. So go to CRO staking. Yeah. So in the CRO staking, there are a number of things there are a number of options on what you can use CRO for. You can use available CRO to pay for trading fees, in which case, if you're trading, let's say Bitcoin with Chainlink, for instance, instead of using the buying currency, it will just use CRO. I don't know. I can't even remember if I said that to right. I'll go and check my account. If I said it to right before, I'll cancel it. I'm not using my CRO for trading anything. Earn interest, stake CRO for 180 days or more to receive 20% APR. So this is what I was talking about. Scroll down a bit more. Now, the staking here, as opposed to the staking on your app, gives you 20% APR, which means as opposed to maybe 16 or 18% you can get on the app. This gives you 20% straight up. But it takes longer because it's going to stake for 180 days. But the good thing is it pays daily as opposed to the one that is on the app that pays weekly. The other thing is your staking here also contributes to the syndicate. So let's say you have 20,000 Crow now, and you have 5,000 free roaming Crow. If you stake 20,000, when the staking is going to be taken into account, so I mean the syndicate is going to be taken into account, it will take account of your staked CRO and your free roaming CRO that you contributed for the syndicate. So if you click on stake CRO to receive full benefits, it should take you to another screen. So, well, have you not moved your CRO?
I moved 8,000 yesterday, but I don't think it's enough. So
You moved 8,000. It's not showing here. Close this. Close the screen. Let's go to your balances.
okay.
Balances should be top menu.
Dashboard.
No, funds should be under funds. Balances, yeah.
Okay,
So that we can. No, that 8,000 is probably sitting on the app.
oh, okay. Oh, it says CRO 581. Which one is that?
That means you only have 580 CRO here.
That's the
bonus from your.
That's the
Bonus
bonus
from
that
the
you receive, 20% bonus.
Okay, okay.
So it means that do you have your app open?
No, I have to sign in again using the 2FA thing.
Oh, okay. Oh, your app uses 2FA.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to stop you from sharing so that you don't share your. Stop sharing, please, so that you don't share your 2FA. Log into the
Okay.
app. Let me show you. So that's how that place I took you to is where you stake your CRO and you type in the total number. It doesn't take decimal numbers, it only takes whole numbers. So you type in the largest number of whole numbers you have on your balance and you can stake it there. And it pays you, it pays you daily of your investment amounts.
And that's the 20,000, right?
Sorry?
That's the 20,000 CRO, 20,000 units.
Yeah. So if you log into your, it's not going to pay you that now because apparently that 20,000 I don't think is probably on your app. That's why I said that you should log into your app so that we are sure that it's just in the app, to be sure where you even transferred it to, because at this point I'm not sure whether it's in the wallet or you moved it to crypto earn.
Okay.
Because if it's already locked up in crypto earn, then you can't do anything about it. Any other question in the meantime? I think Instagram has decided to form my hands today.
Yeah, Dr. Demi, can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Is there any platform that describe the fund that you want to put into it differently from being called cash? Do you understand my question?
I don't understand your question.
Because I mean, the experience that I had with Barclays is more or less like if I am taking fund from my account and to either put in MCO card, it is described as cash, and banks in UK now, they are more or less like saying if it is a cash transaction, there is a limit to which you can take to anywhere. So I strongly suspect that probably they don't want people to use the fund for buying whatever. They want to limit how much of the fund that you can use for buying anything anywhere.
Of which fund now?
The fund in your account.
Maybe it's your fund now. Why? Is it not your fund?
Yeah.
I think another way to get around it is to try to do direct deposits. So for direct deposits, you need to tie your bank account, one of your bank accounts, to your crypto fiat wallet. So you
Okay.
go on the app, you create a crypto fiat wallet.
Okay.
When
I
you
got
create
that.
Yeah, when you create the crypto fiat wallet, in this case in GBP, in
Yeah.
pounds, it will ask you to tie an account to it. So you're going to tie an account to it by sending money to a specified, it will give you a specified bank account to send money to. Once
Yeah.
you send money to that specified bank account, it links your account to that bank account, such that anytime you're sending money from your account to that specific account, it automatically reflects in your fiat wallet, usually
Okay.
3 to 4 hours max.
Yeah, I think I did that on Bittrex.
Yeah, so
And it
you
worked.
can,
Okay.
you can do that on crypto.com as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Demi, I've done the transfer now, so it's in my exchange.
Okay, so it wasn't there before.
Yes.
You can go to the exchange and share now.
Okay.
If anybody has any question, please let's take it now so that we don't.
Yep, I'm back now.
Okay. Okay, so.
Hey, Dr. Demi,
Yes, sir.
what's your own stake on DeFi?
Oh, okay.
This,
I'll talk about it. I'll talk about
maybe
DeFi next
the
week.
next time we can talk about it.
I'll talk about DeFi next week. I've written it down
Okay.
now.
All
Talk
right,
about,
thank you.
but for the benefit of the other, DeFi is decentralized finance. It's it's like the concept of owning your own money and controlling your own money.
Okay.
It's one of the founding philosophies of cryptocurrencies like blockchain and Bitcoin anyway. So,
Okay.
but it's on the rise now because it's like the new crypto trend. The last bull run, the crypto trend for last bull run was ICOs and IEOs. So now it's DeFi. So Gina, let's go to that menu box again and go to
Okay.
stake and earn. Zero staking. Stake zero to receive full benefits. And then copy your available balance. That's 2,000.
Put it here, you mean?
20,000 and paste it there, yeah.
Okay.
So you can see that on this list, it's already counting your 581 as staking. That was the bonus, the 20% bonus that got copied. So it automatically puts that bonus into the exchange. It's a way for them to force the late adopters to using the exchange. Anyways, you only have 20,000 crore now. Why are you typing 26?
I thought it was in magic.
The thing will not agree. Will not agree with you.
Just want to try it.
Okay. I computer now. I garbage out. Is it no go agree? Go say your guy. Which ones now? Okay, so now you can review stake and post it. So then confirm to stake. So it tells you, it stakes to, you have staked 20 successfully. So if you come here tomorrow now, you see that I've dropped some CRO for you as daily benefits. It will be loading you daily with benefits.
Amen.
As the book says. Okay. Somebody asked, Mr. Femi Badiwa asked about how do newcomers stake now? Mr. Femi, please, can you explain your question?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Yeah, okay. Yeah. My question is about the new people coming on board.
Yeah.
if they want to stake,
Yeah,
what-
they're staking now is now CRO based.
okay,
So if you open up your crypto app now, let me just use that as an example. If you open up your crypto app now, crypto.com app,
yeah,
you will see, in fact, hold on, I think I have that page open. Just let me share my screen. Just remember that I think I had one of crypto.com's page open. Crypto.com, yeah. I don't know why my internet is so crazy today. Everything is just maybe the heat is getting to it. Anyways, so the same way you have these various cards that were hitherto denominated according to your MCO staking, they are all now denominated according to CRO staking. This is what I wanted to show you. So if any new person is coming in now, they can stake 1,000 CRO and they'll get that $50. But the good thing is they will now get that $50 in CRO equivalent, meaning that my math is not good. Can somebody help calculate
okay.
how many 16 cents you can find in $50? That's how many CRO you will find. So once the person signs up with 1,000 CRO, 1,000 CRO now is about how much is that?
160 something. No, yeah, 160 something cents.
Okay, so 1,000 CRO now is
About $164.
yeah, about $160 something. So it has lowered the entry, to be honest. It has lowered the entry
Yeah,
a bit because when it was MCO, it was about $200, $230, £230,
yeah.
which is about $300, almost $300. So now, if I need to change my card because this is cheating now. Anyways, so this red card, then you
Okay.
need 50 MCO, which was around, at some point it was around 300 or 250 pounds to change it. So once they stake with 1,000 CRO, they will get that $50.
$50. Okay.
So these are the new categories: 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, and 1 million. And then these are the benefits that come with the card. So this is not fair. I need to change my card. So if you're holding a Ruby Steel card, you get 2% cashback on your spending. If you're holding Jade Green, or what do they call this one? I don't know, the purple one, you get 3%. If you're holding, I should be doing this 100% because, anyways, God, if you're holding 4%, if you're holding the white or the pink one, or what's this color now? Brown, or four with colors, I'm sorry. This looks like off-white or cream, yeah. That one is 4%, and it has some benefits. So I think most of the benefits coming from here. Spotify, you get 100% cashback in Crow. Netflix, you get 100% cashback in Crow as well. From here, from the 100,000, you get 100% cashback on Amazon Prime with a number of fees added there and then. But yeah, that's then no ATM monthly fee up to this amount of monies. So this is the most common. So up to $400, there is no ATM withdrawal fee. Up to $800, there is no withdrawal fee. For people holding this 100,000 crore, there's up to 1,000 with no withdrawal fee. But that's really for people who are probably not in the UK, US, or Europe, who need to withdraw the dollar. But if you do get the card, I hope they start shipping the card to Nigeria now. If you do get the card, you can use this online very well and it will still give you your cash back. So that's the answer to your question, Mr. Fem.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sorry, Dr. Demi, can I ask a question?
Yes, Rotex.
Okay, I noticed something based on what you just shared now. That
Yeah.
means they've reduced the Rubik's card to 1,000. I think
Yeah.
that day we were trying to do, it was 5,000.
Yeah, we were trying to do. What are we trying to do? Yeah. No. The 5,000 I was telling you about in one of the exchange.
What happened was that there were so many people that complained about the swapping whatever, and the CRO executive just listened to them and just
they brought it down.
Yeah, bring it down so that
exactly.
Yeah,
I
people
noticed
won't
that
have
because
much of a complaint. So
okay, but for those of you that have been doing it before, I think that day we established that there was a rise in the currency, or should I say in the
price.
Yes, like before, I mean, Dr. Demi, correct me if I'm wrong. You know, you were saying that we could get, was it a 5,000 crore at a cheaper rate compared to what I was going to pay that day. Because for that 5,000, I was going to pay 650 something pounds.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Hold on a second.
I'm just trying to ask. I hope that is not a disadvantage to.
Well, if you wanted to buy
right
that day was probably the best day to buy, because, and I'll show you why. That was on the second, right?
Well, I couldn't buy all the same.
That was on the second.
That was on the second, yes.
Actually, we're still in good stead. Well, yeah, I think I should show you against USDT. I think that will explain. Pro USDT, Pro Bitcoin is not a good comparison, because Bitcoin, so that's the day. So this day, the 2nd of August, was the day they announced it, and you can see the reaction of the market. The reaction of the market is in another climb. This particular sign on another instrument will mean a market reversal, because what you have is a bearish, they call it a bearish engulfing, meaning the previous candle is totally engulfed by the current candle, which is what you've seen here. The bearish candle went beyond, so the close of the previous day, he opened higher than the close and closed lower than the open. So it totally engulfed the price action of that day. And that will have mean, complete reversal in any normal currency or any normal market. But as you can see, after 3 days, there was another engulfing in the opposite direction. So, which is a stronger bull sign. So there's this saying that I like that says strategy is always in context. You need to always look at the context of the market, look at the context of the environment, and look at the context of the instrument itself. The context of the market right now is that we're in a bullish run, generally speaking, for cryptocurrency. By the end of next year, we'll be in another crypto winter. But currently, the market is up, generally speaking. So that explains why this is going up consistently. And the moving averages, both short, medium, and long term, are consistently below the price. Here you see that the price struggled to break back above the moving averages. It didn't touch the long term. You can see it's just the medium and the short term, meaning that the long-term trend is still very much secure. So if you wanted to buy, Rotimi, going back to your question, 3 days ago or 4 days ago would have been the perfect time to buy, because then that was the lowest it was. It came to 15 cents. From the moment you were talking that day was at 17 cents 44, dropped to 15 cents 64. It's still a good buy, because it's just recovered from that drop. So it's still sitting on 16
it's not back to where it was as at the day.
It's not back to where it was, but so, it's a justifiable reaction on price action, because people were shocked and they weren't expecting that kind of move.
Was it the demand that made it go up then?
Of course, as I was explaining to someone, I was explaining to someone that they have taken that decision not just because of retail investors. They have taken that decision also because of institutional investors, because institutional investors are also looking at the markets, and they've seen that Crypto.com has come out of nowhere to become, at some point, top 10. It's currently number 11. But in fact, it's that swap that switched it back from number 9 to number 11. It was before that day, on August 1st, it was number 9. So they're looking at the market and they're making their judgment. Yeah, these guys are doing something serious, and they look to be going somewhere. What they've done now has consolidated their position. I'm not a prophet, but you can quote me that before the end of the year, Crypto.com will be sitting either in number 7 or number 6 on market capitalization in the global cryptocurrency world, because
maybe when we're done with this session,
what
we
they've done.
can talk and let's see a possibility of closing this out.
Okay, so if you have any questions, happy to close. Like Dr. Larry have said, I'll talk about DeFi next week. I'll get all the materials I can lay my hands upon to explain DeFi, and I'll talk about it next week. See you
Dr.
again next week.
Larry, you are still owing me.
See you again next week.
I just set up committee to see into that, so they are still meeting.
Committee have decided. I had communicated the decision of the committee to you.